right now. And that's the topic we'll be talking about, I guess, all week. It's kind of fascinating that this has kept the country's attention or the world's attention for so long. I'm really wondering how this is going to play out. Now, as of right now, not many people have been killed from the virus, but maybe the numbers will grow. Nobody knows exactly, and I've been doing lots and lots of research on it, and I've been hearing lots of stuff, coming through my email, everything from facts and information to conspiracy theories to everything else. And so I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but I do believe that there are conspiracies at times. And now whether this is one of them, I don't know. I did a deep analysis on this today with Faye Bishop on drboycetv.com. So if you want to go watch some of that direct coronavirus conversation in terms of whether or not we're overreacting, why people feel that toilet paper is the most important thing to have in your house. Just little stuff like that, or myths like, that black people can't catch it. Don't test that theory. Please don't test that theory because that probably may not work out well for you. But anyway, given that we know that there have been viruses out there for a long time that could kill us. Remember, there are things like AIDS. A lot of people out here having unprotected sex, even though AIDS is out there. AIDS ain't going nowhere. Ebola is still out there somewhere. I don't think it just disappeared just because the media stopped talking about it. You got things like bird flu, swine flu. You've got the regular flu. The regular flu is killing a lot of people too. Actually, it's killing a whole lot more people than the coronavirus. Now, what I have heard about the coronavirus is that it is 10 times more deadly than the flu, right? So that's my thing. I'm trying to figure out, okay, so does that mean it's like a super flu? Like a really, really bad version of the flu? So I don't know. I'm not saying that it's not a big deal. I'm just saying that maybe it's a matter of finding out the information. And there are a lot of unknowns. There's still a lot of knowns, unknowns, and unknown unknowns. And that's what's going on. And that's why the world has gone crazy. And yes, I agree with you. It is insane. So anyway, let me go ahead and keep going. Hit the thumbs up button. Please hit the thumbs up button. And welcome everybody on Instagram. You're watching on the Real Boyce Watkins. That's my Instagram. Or also the Black Financial Channel has an Instagram. If you haven't subscribed to the Black Financial Channel, we're on YouTube and Instagram. So if you like financial news and commentary from a black perspective, go to theblackfinancialchannel.com. Follow the Black Financial Channel on Instagram. All right, so here's what's happening right now. This is the big news financially. In an emergency move Sunday, the Federal Reserve, which is supposed to be the financial guardians of the country, the people that jump to the rescue when the economy is about to crash and burn, as it's been crashing and burning for quite a while. They announced that they are going to reduce their federal funds rate, their benchmark interest rate, down to zero. So for them, it's going to be zero interest. Doesn't mean you pay zero interest. It just means that that's the rate that banks will use to loan money to each other, and launch a new round of what is called quantitative easing. Quantitative easing is when they go out and they buy government bonds off the market to basically inject what might be considered to be economic steroids into the economy to wake the economy up. And so basically these are, like smelling salts. Somebody gets knocked out and they weigh the smelling salts and they're like, ugh, right? And so here's the deal. So they did all this, right? So they did this because their goal right now is to just provide liquidity and to keep the markets moving, keep the markets functioning. It's kind of like, like having a relative who says, oh my God, I just lost my job out of the blue, so my economic situation's messed up. And you go to them and you say, look, I'll loan you enough money to buy gas so you can keep getting to work every day. We don't want to make things worse by you having to quit your job because you can't get $50 in gas money. So I'm going to loan you $50, and I'll even loan you, a few $100 if you have any financial emergency. So basically, the Fed steps in and kind of loans money to the economy to help them get through a bad spot. Basically, that's kind of what they're doing. So quantitative easing comes along, and they're hoping that there's going to be a jolt to the market. They're hoping that the stock market's going to go, yay, this is great. This is going to make everybody happy. The world is a good place again. It didn't work. Womp womp womp. Basically there are these things called futures, and the futures tell us what's going to happen in the market tomorrow. It's like a financial crystal ball, and basically the futures are saying that the stock market is going to be hell in a handbasket tomorrow. So if you own stocks, you're going to get your ass kicked tomorrow. You're going to lose a lot of money. Chances are, if you're a diversified investor, chances are your portfolio is going to drop. And that's just what it is. That's the world you live in. You live in a world filled with uncertainty, and so they're going to go back to the drawing board and try to do something else. Now here's the thing though: a declining stock market is not the same as a declining economy, and there are some people, myself included, honestly, who thinks that the Fed should not be sort of just doing things to try to prop up the stock market, because the stock market actually, in my opinion, was actually overvalued to begin with. So maybe it's just kind of going back to what it really should be worth, as opposed to like what it was worth before. Remember, I always told you guys that the stock market was the easiest place in the world to make money because it was going up and up and up. And so quantitative easing, Daryl, I'm not gonna say it never works, but it doesn't all. It's almost like like giving antibiotics to your baby. When my son was little, he used to go to his grandma's house, and he would have a little sniffle, and his grandma would be like, "I took the baby to the hospital and gave him some antibiotics," and we'd be like, "No, don't give him antibiotics, because he's gonna really need them later on, because every time you use antibiotics, you build an immunity to those antibiotics, and that means later on when you really need them, it's a little bit tougher for the antibiotics to actually work, right?" So the same thing is true here, right? Quantitative easing is a little bit, in my opinion, kind of like antibiotics for the economy, or a little bit of a boost. And if you're constantly pumping drugs into the economy, and that's what we've been doing, we've been pumping financial drugs into the economy builds kind of this immunity where when you really are in a tough spot and you really need the drugs, they're not going to work as well. So basically, you're going to just see a correction. You're going to see the market, get its butt kicked a little bit. Congress will probably come along and pass some massive, historic stimulus package or something. And I just really, honestly, between you and I, just between me, you, and the wall, I don't really know if any of it's going to work, because I don't really know how you boost an economy up when you shut the whole damn thing down. I don't understand. I have no idea how you can actually have a functioning high velocity economic system when you're telling everybody to stay home and not spend money. Sure, yeah, people spend money on the internet and all that, and that's cool. But I don't, you're telling me, don't get together, don't do nothing, don't go outside, stay in the house, be afraid, be very afraid. Well, if you ever want to kill an economy, you kill it with fear. You kill it with fear and constraint, right? If you tell everybody sit still and get scared and just, then the toilet paper industry is going to have the best year that it's ever had. I mean, my God, everybody's focused on wiping their butt for some reason. I don't get that. We ain't focused on food. We ain't focused on medicine. We ain't focused on bottled water. Everybody wants toilet paper. What the hell are you going to do with all that damn toilet paper? I have no idea. So anyway, the toilet paper, the toilet paper virus, or the toilet paper revolution, or whatever this is going to be called, that's kind of the problem I'm seeing right now is that I don't really see things happening that tell me that we're going to have a functioning economy. And maybe you're going to see a surge in people getting mental health counseling, because people are losing their damn mind. They are scared to death because they just don't know what to expect. My Alicia's mama is calling us. She's a senior citizen. Anybody else got old relatives in your family who are just scared to death, like scared of their own shadow, scared to even don't want to talk to the babies, don't want to go to the front porch, don't want, she's in that state. She's calling us with updates from MSNBC every 20 minutes, and it's basically like, don't move, don't breathe, you got on an airplane, you're gonna die. I'm not saying that it's not serious. I'm not saying that this corona thing isn't something that we should not all be concerned about. I think you can be serious about the coronavirus and not lose your goddamn mind. I just do. I think you can do both. I think you can not lose your mind and still take it seriously. Losing your mind is not a requirement for solving a problem. Losing your mind, in fact, it actually doesn't even help you solve the problem. It actually makes the problem worse. So if you want to know our position is we went to the grocery store, bought a whole bunch of groceries. We came home. I canceled all my events for the next 6 weeks, and I'm gonna sit still, meditate, watch some Netflix, spend time with the family. But you can't. I'm sorry. At this point. It's hard to scare me with a virus that's killed maybe 40 Americans. I'm not saying it's not real. I'm not saying it's not a problem. I'm just saying it killed 40 people. There's probably 40 people that got shot in Chicago last week. Seriously, 40 people. 40's not, death is terrible. Death is horrible. People that lose their loved ones, my God, it's horrible. But I bet you, yes or no, give me a yes or no. How many of you on this live stream right now, thousands of you are going to watch this video by the time it's done. How many of you have had a loved one die, and not get sick, but die from the coronavirus? Yes or no? Have any of you? Yes. Give me a yes or no if you have had a loved one who has, like, who's now in a casket because of the coronavirus. Yeah. Give me a yes or no. Yes if you do. No if you do not. Give me a yes or no. I saw you. Okay, Jaleh has their hand up. Did you? Yes or no? Anybody? Do you have a relative who has died from this virus? Okay. So I'm not saying it's not important. I'm just saying, relax, relax. You've had virus. This is not the first virus to have ever come into existence. In case you did not know, there are probably about 1,000 things that can kill you, especially if you're black. I mean, think about it. You got this little disease everybody forgot about called AIDS, which, by the way, HIV is all over Atlanta and places like that. I don't know if y'all know that or not, but it's out there. So ladies, be careful. You meet Mr. Wonderful, he might be, he might have a boyfriend. And I'm not dissing. I'm just saying, be careful. You got the flu, which kills hundreds of thousands of people every year. Now, corona is considered to be much stronger than the flu. So that's real. We got to make sure we're aware of that, right? We have to acknowledge that. You've got, but nobody freaks out about all the deaths from the flu, just so you know. But those deaths matter too. You've got, what else can kill us? Diabetes. My God, black people die from diabetes. Like the thousands and thousands of us die every year from diabetes. I'm talking about preventable things that maybe aren't contagious, but things that are just out there. You got heart disease and strokes and gunshot. All this other stuff that can kill black people. So, I don't think it means we ignore it. I think it means you take it in stride. You say, okay, obesity probably, the coronavirus would really have to work really hard to kill more black people than obesity, diabetes, and heart disease, like, put together. Like, that's like the dynamic trio of killing people. Seriously, I don't know. So long story short, don't freak out. And also when it comes to investing, the thing that I want to make sure that you understand as well is that long-term investors are able to just get through times like this. Long-term investors, these are blips on your radar screen. You've had crashes before. You had the 87 crash. They called it Terrible Tuesday. You had the crash back in 2007, 2008, and the Black Monday. You've had the Great Depression. You've had Black Mondays, Black Fridays, Terrible Tuesdays. Like, you've had times throughout history where the market took a hit, and in every single situation, the market returned back to its regular level and kept going up. So I think that I'm not going to tell you what to do because I don't give investment advice. But what I will say is that my goal is to stay consistent. That's what I do. I stay consistent, and that's how I handle my investing. So let me give you a couple things that are happening this week in case you want to join us. I decided that since we're hanging out and we're all at home and nobody has to go to work and stuff like that, I thought it would be fun to have. Remember when you were little and you didn't have to go to school the next day and you stayed up all night and with your friends and it was fun? So I thought we would do something like that digitally. So I called it a digital slumber party. Forgive me for being corny, but it's about time you just realize that I am a corny guy. And so I'm having a digital slumber party online where you can hang out with me, and we will actually hang out and talk and maybe play some music and just do some fun black people stuff. And so I'll probably bring some popcorn and Twizzlers or something. So bring your favorite snacks, and it's gonna be Monday night at midnight. Monday night at midnight is actually technically Tuesday morning, but it's Monday night at midnight. And if you want to join us, you can go to digitalslumberparty.com, totally free, digitalslumberparty.com. And I'm also going to give a brief little lecture just so you learn something from being there. I'm going to talk to you about working from home and some things I've learned about working from home. I'm really, really good at it. And so that way you can walk away with something, but really the goal is to have fun and hang out and feel together. Feel together in a space where we can quarantine out the coonery, quarantine out the racism, quarantine out the small-minded people, and really focus on how much we love each other and how we're going to build together. The next thing is, if you're interested in digging more deeply into your investing persona, feel free to join the Black Stock Market Program. You can do a 30-day trial for $1 in theblackstockmarketprogram.com. There's a section at the bottom called What Dr. Boyce is Buying. So if you go to the bottom of the curriculum section, there's tons and tons and tons of content. I mean, so much stuff that it would take you a lifetime to be able to go through it all. And you should go through it with your family. Share your membership with your family. But go to theblackstockmarketprogram.com, and at the bottom there's a section called What Dr. Boyce is Buying. buying, and that's where I explain every single stock that I'm picking for my own portfolio and how I'm picking them and why and all this other good stuff, because I'm doing lots of research on which assets I want to own so that when the recovery comes along, we all be getting paid. We'll all be making our money. So remember that is important. Black wealth is connected to how many people in our community are investors. If we had half of our community investing consistently in the stock market and or real estate and or entrepreneurship, we would actually surpass the Jewish community, the Asian community, and almost every other community when it comes to wealth. I really believe that we can do that. Can you join if you're out of the country? Absolutely. We have students all over the world. Black London, for example, is one of my favorite places ever. But I go to countries I've never been to and meet people on the street who know about what we're doing. So we are absolutely changing the world. And it's critical that we do this because the Black Business School is your institution. It's your school. Like, it's a school for Black people. It's a bigger, better, stronger version of an HBCU because there's no government funding. We don't depend on corporations. We're virtual, so we can keep the costs low. So there's no student loan debt. We teach you more because we bring millionaires and billionaires and entrepreneurs into the school, and we've done that, like billionaire Mike Roberts and people like that. And on top of that, it's really important that we actually teach each other the things that we need that we can implement right away that will help improve our lives right away. And so we're really, really good at that. So I hope you guys will check it out. I created the Black Business School for you because I was at Syracuse and I saw students paying $60,000 a year to go to my class, and I just thought that was too much. So instead, you can join the Black Business School, get started for free, but you can also, most of our programs are like $3-4 a day. So do stuff like that. That's how people are learning in the 20th century or 21st century, and that's just, that's the message that I want to share with you. I hope you guys will consider that. So it's theblackstockmarketprogram.com, THE. I'm out. I'll see you guys soon. And digitalslumberparty.com. That's when we're having our slumber party. So have a good day, guys, and remember, just stop freaking out. Just chill out, take in the information, act accordingly. We all gonna be good. Talk to you later. Love you guys.